I will not let my daughter remain in the palace, as Olori Mariam staying in the palace is a threat to my daughter. Hello my lovely people, you're welcome back to my channel. I greet you according to your time and according to the time you are seeing this video. How are you doing? I hope you are good. We are still on the gist from the palace of Ooni of Ife. The alleged information reaching us right now is that Dr. Elizabeth's parents, they don't carry come oh, they don't carry come for 15 abi 16, as they are very worried about their daughter, because considering what happened the last time they visited the palace, when Dr. Elizabeth wanted to have an accident, although not wanted, she had a little accident, but thank God that it was only the headlamp broke. So thank God. And when Dr. Elizabeth's parents visited Dr. Elizabeth in the palace, and when on their way going back to Lagos where they are staying, all the things they encountered on the road shows them that that palace, that forces that is fighting in that palace are many. And with that, their daughter is not comfortable in that palace. Also, considering things that Mariam had been doing in that palace, because the last time we heard that Mariam slapped Dr. Elizabeth and Dr. Elizabeth slapped back. Sure, they were giving themselves slaps, like say slap don't become tea and bread. So this Dr. Elizabeth's parents, you know that they love their daughter. They love Dr. Elizabeth. And Dr. Elizabeth is not that kind of woman that is troublesome. Although they say that she was not raised up in Ile-Ife. But when she decided to marry Ooni of Ife, her parents sat her down and taught her things concerning polygamy and polygamous home, and being a wife of a king, and things you expect if you are a wife of a king. And she's even behaving so maturely that she don't even need to give Ooni of Ife wahala. Even if you watch her kind of life and way in that palace, you see that she's living as if she had been living with polygamy, as in she was raised in a polygamous family, but she was not raised in a polygamous family. So they say that now that their Dr. Elizabeth's father and the mother insist that Dr. Elizabeth must leave the palace if Mariam continues to be there, because no be every day you go dey hear say Mariam did this to Dr. Elizabeth, this one no do, the other one do. So they say that if Mariam is still in the palace, not even that their palace is not even conducive for their daughter. So considering all the things that have been happening, how these people are fighting QueenNaomi, fighting Ooni of Ife, and you know that Dr. Elizabeth loves Ooni of Ife so much, and they have been siding Ooni of Ife and QueenNaomi. So these people are fighting her the same way they are fighting QueenNaomi. So her parents now insist that if she must continue to stay in that palace, that Mariam must leave, or she will leave for Mariam. That these two are not meant to stay together. That Mariam is bad. Mariam is so bad that she might do something terrible to Dr. Elizabeth one day. And Ooni of Ife is not happy about this idea, because that's QueenNaomi is not in the palace. Dr. Elizabeth is there for Ooni of Ife. If Dr. Elizabeth leave the palace now that QueenNaomi have not come back, it is going to hurt Ooni of Ife so much. So Ooni of Ife is like, he's devastated with this issue of Dr. Elizabeth leaving the palace because of Mariam, and because of all the gbasgbos, not only gbasgbos, but both physical and spiritual gbasgbos, because seriously, that Dr. Elizabeth is really facing a lot in that palace. And remember that she have one day decided that she's going to leave the palace. When the elders decided that all the Olories must leave, she decided to leave on her own without trouble. It was this same Ooni of Ife that pleaded with her to stay back. And now that her father have seen a lot of things happening in the palace, in short, Mariam is the person they are pointing. Mariam is not supposed to stay in this palace with my daughter. We love our daughter. It's not good that we come and carry our daughter as a corpse because of Mariam. It's not good that our daughter will be facing all this wahala, all these spiritual attacks and all of them, because the one that they faced, the one they themselves faced while going back to their house after visiting the palace, is a very, very terrible one to teach them or to tell them what their daughter is facing in that palace. So they say that their daughter must leave the palace, and Ooni of Ife is not happy about it. Ooni of Ife have been pleading and saying that he will correct those things. But where is he starting to correct? Where will he start? Is it from Mariam? Mariam decided that she's not going to leave the palace. And you know that June is fast approaching when these people are told to leave completely. In short, Dr. Elizabeth's parents doesn't want even that June to reach. They want Dr. Elizabeth to leave the palace as soon as possible. Because I heard that the same Dr. Elizabeth, she bought a house in Ile-Ife, her own house. Ooni did not buy it for her. She bought it with her own money. And that was when she decided to leave. But Ooni of Ife refused that she will not leave. So now her parents is mean and ready to take her out of that palace because of Mariam. So what are you going to tell Mariam? Which kind of Mariam be that one? It's not just in short, the major person they are pointing at is Mariam. That Mariam have been fighting their daughter, both physically and spiritually. And you remember that they they organized a prayer in that palace recently. So with that prayers, there are a lot of revelations against that palace. Considering the fact that QueenNaomi is not in that palace, the prayer group just resumed recently. And you know, as the prayer resumed prayers in that QueenNaomi's altar, forces that have been fighting the altar will gather, as in they will resume their own work. You know, not be say they know they do their work since you know, say when the children of God gather, the devil incarnate too will gather. But thank God that God will always overcome. As in, God will always give his children power to overcome. But one thing this woman and this man is saying is that their daughter, that palace is no longer conducive for their daughter to stay. And they are mean, they are serious about it. But Ooni of Ife is seriously fighting against it to know if they will change their mind. But if I be them, it's not good that I change my mind. Dr. Elizabeth should leave the palace because wahala wey dey for that palace too much. On coming to Ooni of Ife's side, just to side for Ooni of Ife, I don't know. Is it possible that Dr. Elizabeth should go to Lekki to stay with QueenNaomi since the two of them are working together? I don't know. I'm just saying. I don't know whether it is going to be possible. Anyway, my people, now so we take care of them. But if I be Ooni of Ife, I would rather ask Dr. Elizabeth to go to her house and stay and be visiting the palace. Since QueenNaomi is now staying in Lekki mansion, in that mansion in Lekki, Ooni of Ife will be staying more of in Lekki than in Ile-Ife. Although he is remained the king, he will still come back to the palace and do 1 or 2 meetings. Anyway, I don't know. I don't just know what is happening. I just share this message with you. Please remember that they are all alleged information. Thank you and bye.